Hello, it is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here today to look at our financial obstacles and remove them. We are going to use two decks. We're going to look at Headspace and Heartspace, and we're also going to use a few oracles. And we're going to start off the reading as we always start off the reading by right now. I want you to think of something that you think will make you feel better. And you might want to make that something about finances or career, since that's what we're focused on today, rather than love and relationships. We're just going to take a break just for a day. Can you do a day without thinking about the patriarchy? Let's just do one day where we're thinking about what would make us feel better in our careers or in finances. So just kind of take a moment. You can close your eyes. You can get centered. You can sort of pull the first thing that pops into your mind when I ask you, what do you think would make you feel better right now in regards to your finances? All right, so whatever that was, you can kind of even go a little bit deeper into it. So you might have had an initial thought like, this would make me feel better. What is that you want? That is more of the essence of what your ego thinks that you need. Now let's check and see if this is what you actually need. What you actually need is the Two of Swords. And later, when we get to the end of reading, this card is going to be even more significant. But for now, the Two of Swords is about not wanting to make decision about something. It's about kind of just taking a moment, going within. It's 12:21 on the clock right now for those of you that pay attention to the mirrored numbers. But there is a sense here of just surrendering a choice or a decision to your higher self or the supreme or the all or the divine, however you want to describe it, because you don't want to make the choice yourself. You're afraid you'll hurt yourself or others. It's about being kind of stuck, and staying in this stagnant place seems more peaceful than actually making a choice to move forward. There is a fear of going from this point to the Three of Swords. So like breaking your heart in some way. So you actually need to make some kind of a choice or a decision, and you probably need clarity for that decision to be made. But you're ignoring something. You might not be looking at your finances. So this is an interesting thing, right? Because having listened to for years to like Abraham Hicks, different things like that, what I'm really noticing from Abraham Hicks is that there is this conflict of advice, right? She gives this advice, and then if you try to apply it, it sometimes is counterintuitive. For instance, she'll say, don't focus on your balance in your check account. Like, don't focus on the numbers. Don't pay attention to the lack. Like, ignore the lack and just focus on the feelings of abundance. Think abundantly, feel appreciation in the moment, etc. So there's this thing that we do once we get that permission, which is like, don't focus on the reality. Then you're like, oh, I'm never going to look at my bank account. I don't want to deal with finances. I don't want to have to look at it. One thing that people say a lot about money is they don't want to have to worry about it. They want a lot of money because they don't want to have to worry. Well, having a lot of money, I got to let you know, it doesn't decrease your worrying if you already worry about money. Having a lot of money means you're probably spending more, making larger purchases, and even larger debts. So as for people who have a lot of money sitting around and not worrying about it, that's still a lack mindset. So you don't want to not worry about money. You want to have a good relationship with money. This is like blocking money out. It's even green. By not looking at your bank account or your balance at all, you're blocking your abundance. By not looking and just being mindful of what you're doing with money right now, You're in denial. You're obscuring the reality and using wishful thinking. Oh, the universe is just going to fix this for me if I don't look at it. I'm being read to filth right now, so don't feel bad. This is a shared experience in this collective. You can't ignore it anymore. You have to make some hard, difficult choices. What comes after the Two of Swords if you don't move? The Three of Swords. And where does the Three of Swords come from? The Tower moment that creates the discomfort, that forces you to look with clarity at the truth that your indecisions, your lack of decisions, or the decisions that you are making actually caused you the painful circumstance that you were trying to avoid the whole time. So let's not be avoidant with our finances. Let's look at them. Let's take the blindfold off and just see them clearly, okay? Because knowing where you are helps you know where you want to go. And if you think you're already where you want to go and you have no idea where you are, how are you working to get from this point to the next point? Oh, you feel this? How are you, Sinead? Good to see you, babes. So, okay. Let's fix this because today's reading is obstacles removed. So we're going to get rid of this financial obstacle that is blocking you. So the way that this spread works, this is, of course, one that I designed. I use the top of the decks to indicate the general energy. And then the bottom of the deck indicates the obstacle. So let's just take a look first at the general energy of your finances, okay? And your career. So we have here the Queen of Cups, which is a lot of love, a lot of feelings and emotion, the ability to navigate your feelings about it. But there's a lot of like empathy and compassion, sensitivity. You may be psychic. Being psychic may be something that you're doing financially. Obviously, I'm doing that. So that's coming up for me. But in your mind, you love what you do and you want it to generate the wealth that you know it's capable of generating. That's your general energy right now. Or you want to love what you do if you don't. You also want to feel good and feel like money loves you and is attracted to you. And the King of Wands here is your heart wanting to do action, take action towards what you love. So you might feel very limited right now in being able to do what you love and take this action. Hi, Lena. Because you are afraid of that decision of making a choice that might hurt someone or however this goes for you. But right now you have a lot of love and a lot of passion. You feel a readiness to be pioneering, be visionary, take action. So this is good because you're in a place where you're ready to take action. You're no longer going to be mired in like emotional reactivity and sadness in regards to this energy. Okay. So let's look at the actual block. I don't want to look at it because I am really trying to I just want you all to know that I am really and truly trying to do a reading about our career and our finances. But I have to admit that career, finances, and love are all lumped together under the root chakra in our energetic makeup. And if love is not working out for you and you're watching a ton of twin flame readings and you're always listening to the romance readings, which we've been doing pretty much exclusively here on my channel, then probably your finances and career are not doing well either because you're focusing on relationship rather than self. And you may be focusing on relationship to avoid finances and career. And also the beliefs that you have about yourself in love and relationships are also going to affect your ability to generate abundance. So I am not surprised that your financial obstacle right now is the divine masculine and waiting for him. I hate this so much. And I'm really glad that we're going to fucking get rid of this goddamn obstacle today, because I really despise reading this energy. So not only are you personally waiting for a masculine energy to come in and help you feel abundant, but that masculine energy is waiting for himself to feel abundant enough to come in and share your lives together. So you are both in the same situation. And if you've been sitting back and complaining about the person that you want to come forward not coming forward to you, he's not coming forward because you are still blocked by the energy of waiting for someone else to make you feel worthy enough to actually have a secure financial foundation. Boo. Do I hear a boo from the audience? Boo. Let's get rid of this obstacle. This will not only help us in finances and career, but it will also help the divine masculine in the dynamic of this relationship to not feel overburdened by needing to provide. Okay. So you are always seeing your abundance and prosperity just ahead in the future, instead of being able to tune into it in this present moment without another person, just in you and in yourself, your ability to generate more wealth. Now, as I've been doing this reading, I'm noticing the room filling up more. And my YouTube is also having people join, which is rare. Not as many people come on the lives I do on YouTube. The YouTube is more for the replay, for the people that are seeing it here and they want to watch it later. As I am unblocking, I bet that the number of people in the room will go up and up. And there will be people who want readings at the end. And just literally, you can unblock right in this moment. You don't have to unblock today and then wait to see the results tomorrow. It will happen as soon as you embrace what is going on with you. Now, notice that the general energy of the masculine is to take action, and the block is to feel worthy enough to do it. And the general energy of the feminine right now is to feel like compassion for the self and love for the self, kind of about this situation, and just be patient. And honestly, that's kind of good energy, not kind of, that is good energy to have in regards to this block, being patient with the self. All right, let's look at the first position, which is, where did this block originate? So where does it come from? This block of waiting to feel the stability before you get the stability. Okay, where did it come from? The Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles again, only upright. Very fascinating. Now, I'm using the vice versa tarot today, which I didn't kind of utilize the advantages of it for the first part of the reading, but usually it's only when it has, like, when it's significant, do I use both sides of the cards. We're going to do it for this card. But first, let's talk about the headspace. So this is the intellect, the intellectual part of ourself. This is the feeling part of ourself, okay? So the block originated from not being honest with yourself about actually doing the work. I'm sorry. I can't do these readings anymore because they literally are about myself. So I can't. I give up. So you're not being honest with how much work you're doing, period. You're like, I'm working so hard. I'm doing all these things. And you are working because your heart space feels that you're working. But look what you're working on. You're working on generating money, material money, finances. You're working in the physical, on the physical thing. Like for me, working is to show up here with you live, do the readings I'm supposed to do, and cross my fingers that someone needs personal readings or that people are going to be generous and gift or donate today or whatever. But I just keep coming and I just keep doing the material work. But let's look at the back of the card. Look at what's actually being worked on in the spiritual realm. This little child here, the inner child. So you are doing physical work. God bless you. You're showing up for work. You're You're doing all the things and you're doing all the things and being like, I don't understand. I'm doing all the things and it's not working. And it's because you are not being honest that you're focused entirely on controlling your finances with your mind rather than working on whatever wounds you received as a child in regards to abundance, prosperity, and lack mentality. Okay. So let's see. The next position is, how is it currently manifesting in the 3D? So how is this obstacle currently manifesting for me? Well, the Hierophant is in reverse. The King of Wands is upright. The 10 of Pentacles is upright. The 10 of Cups is upright. What the hell? This obstacle that I have is resulting in me taking action towards creating material fulfillment based on my ideas of my spiritual bliss and fulfillment. This is all really interesting. Okay, so this block is actually motivating you. It's motivating you to define for yourself what makes you happy. Take action against patriarchal ideas, limiting beliefs. Look at the structure here that reminds me of things that are solidly set in reality that are very limiting, liberating you from these ideas, because the real couple here is on the back, right? Facing off this patriarchy. And then there's this one. All of this would be great, except that we haven't learned the lesson yet. And it's okay because we're releasing the limiting beliefs. This Hierophant energy is the energy of tradition and authority. And we're releasing our limiting beliefs about the patriarchy, about how to actually create wealth and abundance. That's what this is causing us to do. So it's not bad, this block. It's really forced us into a position where we have to analyze for ourselves what is really causing this lack of abundance or this lack mindset that we're experiencing in this current energy. So not a bad thing at all. What will help remove this block? All right, we have the Empress, the Lovers, and the Eight of Swords. Okay. So, first of all, thinking of yourselves as creative, abundant, and prosperous inherently, and that you receive that through your connection to the divine, that is really going to be helpful to you. The other thing is this theme of loving what you do, which we got with the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands here. We have a lot of repeat cards in this reading, which is suggesting there is a lot of union in these two energies. But so being able to have love for yourself and see yourself as very beautiful, very creative, very abundant, and very prosperous, and leaving behind anything that is making you feel very limited, like those limiting beliefs that we were seeing coming up there in that we're working on releasing. But this is also for me having healthy boundaries and protecting yourselves from being overly focused on just being the counterpart of the divine masculine, and that it is just this love and this relationship that's somehow going to save you from your issues with finance or your inability to pursue the career that you want. There is something here that you need to embrace, that you're thinking about love and relationships and your role in creating abundance is causing you to block yourself from thinking of yourself in union right now, right? If you're waiting for this if your block is that you're waiting for this masculine energy to feel abundant, then to remove it, you must feel abundant right now and put up healthy boundaries, okay, from yourself, from thinking that someone else saves you or that you're not complete and able to be abundant until you come into union with this energy. That's blocking you from union with the energy that you want to unite with. It's also kind of, I'll believe it when I see it type of an energy. So that's never effective, just so you know. Okay. The next position is who or what should I release to move on? Page of Cups, the World, and the Two of Swords. Look at that. What did you actually need? We had the Two of Swords. We needed to make some kind of a choice or a decision. What do we need to release or remove to move on from this financial obstacle we have? Emotional immaturity. We need to end the cycle of emotional immaturity, thinking that you're going to have the entire world like overnight. That is the biggest misconception that comes from the way that it looks like people achieve success in our society. We love to see people when they've already achieved success and then talk about how yesterday they weren't successful, but today they are because now they're on television and people can see them. And now we can all collectively see their success. That is an illusion. Their success doesn't start when they show up on Good Morning America and talk about how great their life is. Success came well before that moment, or else that moment where you receive notoriety for your success wouldn't have arrived. So you have an immature idea of things happening overnight. You also have an immature idea that if you just wait, this is this energy of waiting, that someone or something, the universe, whatever, is going to make some sort of a decision or choice on your behalf that's going to result in everything you want just falling before you. That's not how it works. What happens when everything finally comes to you is that you've made a decision to change how you think about yourself, to close out cycles of thinking of yourself as immature, unable to actually have what you desire. That's when you can receive what you desire. It doesn't come from the universe doing something without you actually participating in that dynamic. You have to actively decide to have faith that you can receive everything that you've been working for. And that it's not necessarily just something that is happening overnight. It's never satisfying when it does, but that it's been growing slowly and steadily. The next position is, what can I learn from this current pause? We have the Four of Cups and the Tower. You can learn to let go of childish fantasies. The idea that the night sweeps in and fixes all of your problems, solves all of your problems. Your problems didn't come overnight, and they don't go away overnight without that work. And that's why the obstacle is here. It's originating because you're telling everybody, including yourself, that you're doing the work. I'm doing the work, you're saying, but I think you're only doing the work that you want to do. You're not doing the work that you don't want to do. There's all kinds of work, and you're being very choosy about which aspects of work you're comfortable with. And you know what? You have to get uncomfortable to get out of this like feeling of indolence where you're not doing enough. You have to get uncomfortable. When you're comfortable, you're gonna keep staying comfortable. Like I'm like in my parents' house right now, like what reason would I have to leave except for the discomfort that I'm feeling at not having my own space, at not being able to control the food that I'm eating, or, you know, what time I go to bed, or whether I go buy myself cannabis or not. Like those annoying little things exist so that I won't just stay here and not go where I want to go next. Like discomfort is something that causes you to imagine going somewhere new. So you really are learning this right now. Hi, Aubrey, welcome. The replay is available on YouTube also. If you've missed the beginning of this reading, you can see the full replay on Tuned In Tarot YouTube. Click the link in my profile. There's a little Instagram thing. Click that, and you'll see the YouTube page drop down. All right. the final position for this spread is, what can I look forward to once this obstacle is removed? Here is the Hanged Man, and here is the Six of Wands. So two things. Number one, first of all, the pause that you've been in, the suspension, the waiting, that's over. You have victory over that energy. So that's great. The other thing is that the waiting that you did, the pause, that hanging there and getting a different take on things gave you a new perspective on success. Like I just said, it doesn't happen overnight, and there is work you're not doing, period. There's definitely work that I am not doing, and I'm trying to do it more often. I just realized I turned that off. Turn back on. Trying to do it more often. I've been like encouraging myself to open up my music software and start designing sounds again and start playing, and just, you know, one step at a time, getting back into a place where I can work on music again, because I have a different outlook on what success in the music industry looks like. So this changing your mindset about success and failure, changing your mindset about where your victory is going to come from and how it's going to come to you. Instead of seeing it as this masculine energy that's external, outside of self, I want you to embrace that it is the masculine energy within self. The emotions that cause you to take action. Now, you have to release the emotionality, the childish emotions that caused you not to take any action because of your fears of what might happen or what might not happen, etc. So a lot of what's going on right now has to do with fear of success, and redefining success for yourself can really help you. Okay, let's look at your oracles. We're getting Lizard Spirit, dream the world into being. Now this is great because what you're learning from this present moment, this Four of Cups, this literally is about dreaming. And you're dreaming something new because of something that was probably ruined in the past also. So you might be dreaming something new from what has been lost. And the message from this deck, number 38, the protection message is, have you been allowing your imagination to run amok and dream up a nightmare that seems to have come true? Fear not, for whatever dreaming you did in the past can change today as you dream anew. Wake up from the perception that everything is wrong. Lizard Spirit asks you to open your eyes and consciously dream a better dream. What would it look like to already have what you desire and be the one you wish to be? How might it feel to walk toward co-creating this new dream as a reality in the world of the senses, drawing it out of the world of dreams and building it in the world of form? Trust in your ability to dream anew and honor it today. So you may have had this one idea about your success financially that was somehow involving this masculine, divine masculine, who you were waiting to appear. Little did you know, the divine masculine was actually found within you. And it was in pausing and stopping and not going in any direction and just waiting that you finally had to learn this lesson, that what you were seeking outside of yourself was always within self. And that's a big part of this message for you today. Your mindset that you need to cultivate in terms of your finances is, I honor how I want to feel. If you feel badly about your finances, but you keep forcing yourself to live exactly the way that you've been living, even though you feel badly about it, you are not honoring how you want to feel. For instance, okay, I walk this fine line in this career where I believe that if I show up and I do the work and I do a good job and I come with no malice and good intent, and believe in my abundance, that it will come to me through this platform, that people will book private readings, that they will book personal readings on lives, that they will send me gifts, that they will share my live, that they will increase and grow my channel, and that the divine has a hand in that and is helping that to happen. And that rather than me try to control where the finances come from, but just allow it to come, that's going to be the best way for me to receive finances. That is a beautiful ideal. And I really do aspire to that and want that to be how I invite abundance into my life. However, I carry limiting beliefs. So when I am waiting for the universe to prove to me the thing that I have faith in, and I'm uncomfortable and don't really believe in it and feel badly, then I'm not generating abundance. I'm generating lack. So if it would make me feel better, honestly, to get a regular job where I get an hourly wage or get a client in, like as a music teacher, I used to teach piano, voice, and music production more than I did tarot. So if it would mentally be easier for me to imagine that I could have more financial success if I went and sought people who needed voice lessons or piano lessons, or something that was more quote unquote practical or more quote unquote logical, then it would behoove me to go and do that and honor that I would feel better in order to receive abundance, rather than push back against this limiting belief that still has control over me and try to prove it wrong, because I'm only ever going to prove that belief right until I've truly released it and replaced it with a new belief. So I can fight against myself in that process. Eventually, I do overcome the limiting belief, but it takes a long time, and my finances don't look very good while it's happening. So it's more important that I honor how I want to feel right now. If I think to myself, I'm going to feel really bad if I work for someone else or I do a job that I don't care about, or, that also is important. So for me to go get a job at Walmart right now would not honor how I want to feel either. It's a delicate balance where you are looking for the path of least resistance, something else Abraham teaches all the time. The path of least resistance. If it takes more energy for me to push through my limiting belief than to get something like a job that's maybe still a bridge to where I want to go, but just makes me feel a little better, then that's a better decision for me. So I hope that helps you. The final cards I have for you, this is your theme for this week. It was only supposed to be one card, but I accidentally used the card that was what we actually needed in order to make the picture for the YouTube video. And so then I saw the card and I was like, oh no, I want to be able to play along and not know what I actually need. So I guess I'll just use this as the theme. And what's really interesting is that then when I did pull the card that what we actually needed, it was the Two of Swords. So it was like we needed more than just that Ace of Swords. We needed more than clarity. We also needed to understand in that clarity that we ourselves were keeping ourselves stuck in the situation that we're in with finances. And we also need the Page of Pentacles energy. So what we need is a clear vision of what we desire to happen with our finances. And then we need to take one small step at a time towards that vision. This is about saving, planning, seeing a positive outcome. It's about, bringing excitement too, because it's new. It's a new outlook, a fresh start. But in order to shift or change this relationship we have with our finances, we need to look at it very clearly, what we're doing and what we're not doing, and be very honest with self about it. Work smarter, not harder is coming up for me right now. That, especially for where the obstacle, where the obstacle is originating, where you're working hard, work smarter, not harder. That's definitely coming up for me. So you're going to have to define what that means for you. If you want more personal insights, like if this reading super resonated with you and you're like, this is exactly where I am, and you need more insight, you can book a private reading at the link in my profile. And I would suggest for this type of reading, you're either booking a custom 1 hour virtual session, or where there's also a 30-minute option to get a 30-minute pre-recorded video kind of going deeper into this topic for yourself. There's also an obstacles removed reading available at the site as well. Now, for those of you that are here that have financial issues and you're feeling really limited in being able to book a private reading, I understand that completely. For that, I recommend subscribing to my Tuned In Tarot YouTube if you're not already subscribed today. Coming to the lives, listening to other people's readings when they are actually able to sort of pay for a reading, because you're probably going to get the messages you need from those readings, because I'm a firm believer that if you need to know something, it's going to come to you. You don't have to pay to get the message that you need. But if you do have finances and you want to invest in learning more about how to pursue your passions, how to achieve balance between relationship, career, etc., there is an option on my site called the Spiritual Initiate. And it's a package under, I think it's like under, I can't think what it's called. It's like under the booking tab. There's like packages or something like that. And that is going to help with, it's weekly. Oh my God, I'm trying to clean this up and also talk at the same time. I don't know why I do this to myself every time and then stutter through everything I'm saying at the end of the video. So the Spiritual Initiate is going to give you weekly sessions with me at a discount. So instead of paying $111 every time we sit down and have a virtual session for an hour, it's going to be $360 for 4 sessions. So it's deep. One of them is deeply discounted for you. So if you're interested in that, that is available on my site. And I have openings. I could probably handle about 2 Spiritual Initiate clients right now before I would close that package, because I have only limited amount of time during the week. So that's about all I could add in, because I also keep it open for music students as well. All right, I'm going to say farewell, YouTube, but I will be over here on TikTok doing personal readings. If you're interested, you can find me, Pearl's Prayers. There's a link in the description box below. You can also send donations and gifts there. There's a course that I offer. All the playlists that are available. Check out everything, explore everything. I know you'll find what you're looking for. And I will see you next week, Monday, if you are not a member. But if you are a member, you can have access to the replay of tomorrow's Learn Tarot and Divine Tune-In and the Tell Me Everything spread, which I will either do later this evening or tomorrow. That will be available for members as well. So take care, and I will see you soon.